What is up, everybody? This is Matt with the Hardcover Comic, and today I'm going to be doing something a little bit different. Now, normally we do overviews or haul videos or collection videos, etc. But today I'm going to be doing a review of a book I read last week, which is Uncanny X-Men Volume 1. Chris Claremont, Dave Cockrum, John Byrne. John Byrne's my favorite X-Men artist, by the way. It is so good when John Byrne joins. Woohoo! But anyway, such a good book. I'm going to tell you guys right off the bat, I'm going to rate this book a 7.5 out of 10. Now, why is it not higher and why is it not lower? Well, that's what we're about to jump into. So, Chris Claremont, kind of a wordy fellow when he writes, okay? If anybody's ever read anything by Chris Claremont, you know that his books tend to be a little wordy. So, I originally had this book about a year ago. Tried reading it, couldn't get into it. It just wasn't my style. Mike has had the exact same issue. He just cannot get into Claremont's writing. So, needless to say, I departed with the book. Well, Michael Red Skull from Four Guys in a Comic, who's one of our co-hosts on the podcast, he bought me Uncanny X-Men Volume 1 and Volume 2 omnibuses for Christmas because he saw that I didn't have them on my shelf, and I had recently kind of been talking about wanting to try the X-Men again. So I got these great omnibuses for Christmas. Now, I said, okay, now this is a Christmas gift. I'm going to try to read it. I'm going to get through it. I'm going to see what all the hype's about. Because a lot of people say how much they love Claremont's run on X-Men. So I started reading it, and it did take a little while to kind of find the footing. But once John Byrne joined, and he became a co-plotter as well as the artist, I think around issue 107, the book really kind of took off. And it just kept getting better and better as the volume goes. Now I know some people say that they had to kind of trudge through Volume 1 before it started to get really good with Volume 2, and then apparently just amazing with Volume 3. I was the same way. I kind of had to trudge through a little bit, but I will tell you, it gets better as Volume 1 goes on. It just gets better and better and better and better as it progresses. The Proteus arc is probably my favorite arc in this book. It's really kind of trippy too, so I'm trying to get Mike to actually read it because he likes that real kind of trippy stuff, and it almost kind of reminded me of I don't know, something like Grant Morrison might do. So I think he might like the Proteus arc. We'll see. But anyways, it's a really solid read overall. I thoroughly enjoyed it. I think everybody does this, but I assign voices in my head for characters when I'm reading the omnibuses. And what better voices to utilize when reading an X-Men Omni than the 92 X-Men animated series, right? So that's who I use for the voices in my head. Except for the narration. I was trying to think, I'm like, oh, I really need like a narration because there is, like I said, a lot of unneeded, in my opinion, narration. Like, I don't need to know that Wolverine is unsheathing his adamantium claws every time he appears in the book. There's a lot of like, his adamantium claws, and like, how many ways can you describe him unsheathing and resheathing his claws? I don't get it. So anyways, I needed a voice to kind of make that part a little bit more fun and not so like, oh, here we go again. So I started using the Super Friends narrator, meanwhile in the Hall of Justice. That kind of became the voice that I used in my head, and it made it way more fun. So if you need that voice, YouTube it if you don't know it, first of all. It's a classic voice. But utilize that voice in your head. It makes the reading far more enjoyable. But anyways, that being said, the book itself is really, really solid. It kind of takes place after, it becomes like the new X-Men. So it's a perfect jumping on point as well from the Lee Kirby stuff because it's a new X-Men group. You still have Cyclops, of course, but now you have Storm, you have Colossus, you have, Jean Grey, obviously, still. But you have Nightcrawler. Eventually, in Volume 2, you get to Kitty Pryde. You have Banshee. You have, who am I forgetting? Warpath, very briefly. And, of course, Wolverine. So it's like the new X-Men group. So you kind of get to see Claremont and really Byrne build these characters from scratch and really build this amazing world that has so much history with X-Men now. And it's a really, really cool book. Now, Volume 2, I'm halfway through it. It's really, really solid. It's 10 times better than Volume 1, in my opinion. And I'm really excited for Volume 3, because apparently Volume 3 is just another level compared to Volume 1 and 2. So, I am really looking forward to it. They are excellent books. I do strongly recommend picking them up if you haven't already. You can probably get it pretty cheap on IST and stock trades, maybe even eBay. They're not expensive. There's been plenty of printings. They're not out of stock or anything like that. Volume 3 may be going out of stock soon, though, so if you need to get them, I strongly recommend buying it now, because Volume 3 has been on short supply, and I don't know if or when it's coming back. I'm not one to speculate. So that all being said, Mike and I also wanted to let you guys know that we have a new Twitter account. It's just at Hardcover Comic. People were asking because they want to interact with us. They want us to drop news on, like, new releases. So every Tuesday or Wednesday, we'll start dropping news on, like, these are the books that are going to be coming out this week. These are, the price points and things like that. We want to be able to kind of, we're going to do the video side of it as well for those that prefer video. But we also wanted to kind of do just a quick synopsis and Twitter, so that we're going to have that. We want to be able to interact with you guys. If you guys have any questions or things and you'd rather do it via Twitter, hit us up. We're at Hardcover Comic. Find us. We'll follow you. If you need those Twitter followers, follow us. We'll follow you right back. All right? We'll be friends. We'll be Twitter friends. So, yeah, hit us up on Twitter. Let us know what you guys think. Let us know what you want to see. Let us know what you want to see more of, what you want to see less of, etc. We're really looking to grow this channel, and hopefully we'll have some really cool collaborations, fingers crossed, coming up in the new year, and we'll go from there. So, yeah, thank you guys so much, and continue to keep reading, and until next video, the power is yours. Whoa, I almost forgot. If you want to talk with like-minded people about omnibuses, hit up the Omnibus Cafe Facebook group.